If you're currently stuck, you're hitting a wall, coming up against the same patterns again and again, then probably it's only one of two things that's the problem. Let me break it down for you. So either you simply don't want it enough, not as much as you thought that you did, or this thing really is not for you. It will not serve you, and it's not part of your life path. So watch out. Now, when we get lost in confusion, what's happening is our ego is overthinking things. Our ego lives in a space of fear and constriction. It believes in these ideas of lack. What happens when we get stuck, when we're in a swamp, is that our ego is overanalyzing. It's focusing on the problem. And from there, it's very, very difficult to understand what we have to actually do. Now, I'm not a life coach. I'm not a performance coach. I'm not an abundance coach. I'm none of these things. Really, more than anything, I'm a spiritual teacher, because what I do is help people step back and put their lives in the biggest possible context. That's how we get unstuck. That's how we get clarity. Now, what happens a lot of the time is that people think they want something. And what's really happening is that they actually identify with that path, that idea, in an exterior form. Their ego likes it as a kind of clothing, a nice jacket to put on. But at a deeper level, it's not really something that they're passionate about. So where do we get any of our motivations from in terms of what we think that we want? Well, what most people do is they're very influenced by what's happening around them, by maybe their parents, maybe friends, maybe YouTube influencers. We get our cues and our clues from our environment. But that doesn't really fire us up at a deeper level. But we can easily spend 5 years, 10 years, 20 years even, chasing something, somebody, with the idea that we want it, not really getting anywhere, not really making any progress, not really understanding where our true motivations lie. And then from that place, it doesn't matter how many affirmations you do. It doesn't matter if you go to Tony Robbins workshops or Joe Dispenza or any of these wonderful people, because really you're only chasing superficial, ego level identifications with roles and ideas and paths, and draw up as many beautiful vision boards as you like. The only thing that's going to happen is you're going to get more frustrated. Do you recognize this at all in any way? I know that I've been there quite a few times. So what is the answer? Well, it's stop. Whatever you're doing, stop, because it's not working. So give yourself a break and stop pushing, slow down, because if you haven't got it yet, either it's not what you really want or it's not for you. So you need to create space. You need to breathe. You need to actually reconnect, connect with something deeper. Now, when I was younger, right, 19, 20, 21, I was in a real panic about my life because nothing had made sense and nothing that I thought about doing really felt like it was real or authentic. And in many ways, I was very lucky that life was very painful and quite shitty, because it actually forced me to look at a deeper level and ask myself fundamental questions like, what's going on? Who am I? Who am I really? Why am I here? What is my biggest potential? And it wasn't until I delved into those questions deeply, authentically, that I was able to actually make any real progress. But look, what do most people do? Most of us, we react. So most people's lives are fundamentally reactionary. They do something for a while because they've seen other people do it and they say, okay, let me try that. Then they find out that it doesn't work for them or they don't like it. And then they move in another direction. So they react to their life, they react to their environment. And it's only when there's too much pain, there's too many problems, that they say, okay, now I'm in a relationship which doesn't work anymore. I'm in a job which doesn't work anymore. Maybe it would be okay for me if I did something else. So only when it gets really painful, do they give themselves permission to maybe make a change or to think outside the box? Other people, again, they have to have a very confronting situation in their life. Some people only really look deeply when they've had an illness or an accident, that life actually forces them to think deeply about things, to really weigh up the balance of their life. But you can, at any moment in your life, however old you are, right? Whether you're young, in middle age, or older in your lifetime, doesn't matter. You can decide to stop, pause everything, reject all external influences, pressures, thoughts about what you should be doing, and say, hold on, this is my life. Ultimately, this is between me and God. This is between me and the universe. And the choices that I make are going to have a very big impact on me at a soul level. So let me just think about things for a while. And if you get to this point, if you can allow yourself to get to this point, then you're in a good place. It can be challenging. You can feel a lot of insecurity. And a lot of us only have got to this place because of all kinds of crazy shit that's happened in our life. Losing stuff. I've lost everything, like at least twice. And, I mean everything in terms of house, money, spouse, children, and really being forced to go back to the drawing board and completely. And those moments of being forced to start again have been the most fruitful, because they've allowed me to really take a breather and say, okay, I was trying these things, I was doing these things, and I did this job or this business, this kind of relationship. Some of it was good, but some of it wasn't working. What should I be really doing? What is the right thing for me? And then each time I started from zero, I was able to go to a new place. And the interesting thing is that I discovered that the universe, God, spirit, however you want to think about this, is on your side. It actually wants you to develop. And the reason that I'm so sure about this is because it's been my experience that when I've taken one step towards more integrity, one step closer to what my true life path is, that I've been supported by the universe. Now, I had to take the step first, then I got the support. Doesn't work the other way around, unfortunately. You have to push through insecurity. You have to go through these dark nights of the soul, but then the universe does support you. So if you have been stuck and if you have been hitting that wall, just information. Don't take it in any way that you're failing. It's just the universe telling you that either you don't want this enough and then it's okay, because there is something way deeper than you're going to really want. It's going to get you out of bed in the morning and you feel like, oh, holy shit, this is where I should be. It's this kind of relationship or this kind of business or this kind of job or this kind of situation. I can guarantee you that for any person that is courageous enough to ask at the deepest possible level, where should I be? What should I be doing? You will find it. You will get answers to these questions. And what you'll notice is that there is a level of motivation way deeper than this surface level fluctuating ups and downs of, oh, I feel it a bit today, but now I don't feel it. Oh, what should I do now? I don't know anymore. There's something that when you click into it, there is no doubt. So I have no doubt about what I should be doing. It's very clear to me. The last maybe 10, 15 years, I've been in the right place doing what I should be doing. Now, I've had problems, I've had challenges, financial challenges, relationship challenges, but fundamentally, I was in the right place doing the right thing. And I was vigilant. I was listening, like, oh, am I still doing the right thing? Am I still in the right place? So I was still nimble enough, agile enough to change and then make a move. And sometimes like take a hard left, like really stop with something. For example, I had a spiritual center in Amsterdam for like 5 years. And it was for me a great experience. It was actually a kind of an anchor, a rock that was a big part of my life and a very important part of my life. But one point I needed to change, and I just moved on. I gave it away, and I went and did something completely different, and I was able to start again. So we all have unique gifts, unique capabilities, unique soul paths, and there is one for you. If you're hearing this and there's a part of you that's resonating with what I'm saying, it's because at a deep level you're recognizing truth. And what you're recognizing is that for you, there is a specific path, a unique soul path, that when you move into that, when you click into that more and more and more, you're going to know, like, oh, this is where I should be. How many days have we woken up in compromise, going to jobs, going into situations thinking, oh, do I really have to do this? And our compromise is because we think that there isn't anything better available, because we've been taught a false story about lack. We've been told these stories about fear. So we make choices out of compromise. But we can come to a point where we say, okay, I'm not going to compromise anymore. I'm going to do that, which at a deeper level, I know I should be doing. And even if it's not completely clear, if it's only like a vague hint, follow it, trust it. It will take you deeper, and you'll get more clarity about where you should be and what you should be doing. Can you feel it? Can you understand what I'm pointing to? Leave me a comment below if this resonates with you. Now, the second option, why something might not be working for you, is because it really does not serve you. If you went down this path, this job, this relationship, this opportunity, whatever it is that you think that you should be doing, but it's not working out, it's very possible that at a deeper level, there's a part of you which is putting on the brakes, because this is absolutely the wrong way for you. It would be detrimental. It might feel like it's the right thing, but possibly it's not. And you have to be careful for this potential, because you could definitely go down the wrong path, create karma, get stuck in situations with people, right? With relationships, with jobs, and could spend 10, 20 years in a place that really wasn't meant for you. Now, I've had this, absolutely. I can be extremely stubborn, pushing, thinking, oh, I should be with this person. I really need to be with this person. And then having these ideas that I should be doing this, thinking that I should be doing this kind of job, or being in this place, trying to make something work. When, if I look back now, there were warning signs everywhere that I was ignoring. The universe was flashing these yellow lights saying, no, this way is blocked. Don't go down here. And then I would push anyway, say, no, I just need to, grind, push more, put more effort into it. And then I'd listen to all the affirmation people telling me how to visualize and focus and be more efficient. But really, I look at those situations now and think, gosh, why did I not figure that out earlier? Because as soon as I actually said, okay, I recognize that this isn't for me, then it was like being released from a swamp. It was like being released from a place of huge stuckness. And then my life was able to go in a different direction. And then opportunities opened up. Now, so you've got to be vigilant. Look around. Use your intuition to see if there are warning lights flashing, because your mind, your ego, can't. So if you feel that you might be in a situation like this, I would advise you to be vigilant. Maybe there are some warning lights flashing, but be aware that you can only really hear them with your intuition. You can feel them, you can notice them with a deeper part of yourself. Your mind, your ego self, isn't capable of picking this up, much too subtle. So what happens a lot is that we pick up these subtle signs, these cues from the universe that say, stop, go back. And then we feel that, we say, oh, I don't think I should be doing this. Then we take that information to the mind and say, what do you think, mind? What do you think, rationality? And the mind says, like a computer, what's wrong with you? We always have to go this way. This is how we do it. This is how we've always done it. And this is what we believe to be the safest route. But with your life path, you're going to need intuition to find it and to traverse it. So that's why also it's so important to stop, to breathe, to meditate, to do yoga, to go and walk in the forest, to slow things right down, and to say to all of external forces pushing you in a certain direction, or internal patterns, monologues, fears, to say, I just stop everything. Let me listen. Maybe I'm in the wrong place. Maybe this relationship isn't right for me. This situation isn't right for me. So take the time to slow down and listen and trust yourself. The more that you trust yourself, the more that you trust your intuition and your subtle awareness, the easier it becomes to listen to it. And the more that it becomes a capacity, really, for perceiving reality directly. And then you still use your mind and your ratio. It's quite useful to have this sort of computer system, this calculator, but you're going to be able to start to use your intuition, your subtle awareness much more to navigate your life path. Now, let me give you one more way to get out of stuckness that has worked for me and can be applied to both of these scenarios and reasons for being stuck. That is, you're not thinking big enough. You don't have a challenge or a responsibility that really fires you up at a soul level. So we got to take sometimes more risk. So I don't mean putting all of your money into Bitcoin. What I mean here is really finding your evolutionary edge. Where is an edge where you say, gosh, if I would take on this project, or if I would take this responsibility, well, that would ask a lot from me. But I also feel that because it asks a lot from me, I intuit that it would also enable me to access deeper reservoirs of potential within myself. So that could be anything. That could be in any direction. And you can find that when you really take a moment to stop and say, okay, I'm going to go beyond the limited ideas I have about this person that I've always believed myself to be. What if I was more capable? What if I was not what I've believed myself to be and what other people have told me I am, but I was more intelligent, more capable, more loving? What would I do? What would I take on from that place? Now, when I've done that, it's been scary. A new project, a new responsibility, a new job, leaving the country. I left the UK when I was like 21, and then when I was much later, I also left the Netherlands where I was living to travel the world with my wife. So many things I've done which were pretty scary. But it allowed me to step up. And what I found was, oh my goodness, I was way more capable than I ever thought that I was. So now if I look back over the last 50 or so years of my life, I can see that there has been this growth, this evolution every time that I've stepped up and taken more responsibility. And I am not the person that I was 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I'm not the same person, literally a different person, because I've lived an evolutionary life. Yes, I've been stuck, absolutely, and hit rock bottom, lost everything. But the major trend has been up. And that's why I can say with confidence that it's available for you as well. If you've got to the end of this video and you're still watching, it's because you feel it too, right? You know that this is truth. It's not my truth or your truth. This is just the truth about the nature of reality. That's why I said at the beginning of the video, I'm not a performance coach or a life coach. Much more, I'm a spiritual coach, because that's the perspective that I look at my own life from. And I see that that's the biggest context that we can put our lives inside of. Now, I hope this has helped you. Where are you? Do you recognize this? Are you stuck somewhere? Leave me a comment. I will reply to you. And if you want to be part of the community that I'm setting up online for individuals that want real change and real growth, then check out the link in the description below. I will keep you posted. I'd love to hear from you.